あんたがいるとまた村に災いが降りかかる。いたぞ。
My friends, I think I've done a pretty good job so far of explaining my disdain and dislike for Ren and 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭 inside of the Shield Hero anime. This episode was basically all dedicated to our local Shield Hero. This episode was dedicated to our local sword hero. Look at that, I can speak. Gotta lick my lips first. This was dedicated to our sword hero. And, basically it went down that he went down this nasty path. He got betrayed by 𝐵𝐼𝐶H, which of course he did. At least he didn't get accused of, doing the things that the other heroes were accused of doing to her. Or, basically our shield hero. But the interesting part before I really jump into Ren is 𝐵𝐼𝐶H specifically, right? What did she do, and how did she get rid of the slave tattoo, the slave crest that she has on her? How has she been able to overcome that and been able to lie at the excessiveness that she's able to without that activating? Did she find a way to remove it? Did she find a way to overcome it? Is there a loophole? What exactly happened? That's the really interesting storyline here. Now, pivoting back to Ren, I already knew I didn't like Ren whatsoever. I think him and 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭, I think, are poorly written characters. Motoyasu, I'm not a fan of necessarily either, but at the same time, I really love Motoyasu as well because he's just this dumb, big idiot. And, he definitely provides this show that comedic relief that we often need a lot of times because of his stupidity and his over-the-topness. So when it comes to the heroes outside of Naofumi, Motoyasu is the next one that I'm like, okay, I really like this guy. When it comes to Ren and 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐭, not so much. They pretty much have been mostly non-existent, and the time that they've come in, they've either caused problems, they, high-fived each other, or, they use a little bit of their brain at times. Now, in diving deeper into Ren specifically, I kind of hate him more after this episode because one of the things that was made clear when they first got, not reincarnated, but I guess, Isekai reincarnated into this world, was that they all had some type of familiarity with this world, whether it was via a video game that they played, whether it was via a other piece of media that they watched, whether it was a book that they read. Regardless, all of them had familiarity with this world in some capacity from their world, and they got isekai into something familiar that they're familiar with. When it comes to Naofumi, he picked up a book, he read 2 pages of it, and he got isekai to this world. He had no familiarity. And when it comes to Naofumi, he has spent time in this world learning the actual world, right? Learning the language, learning the way that the world actually operates, learning as he just... Basically, he took the way that he learned this world as if he just moved countries as opposed to being fully isekai. He's like, I'm in this new land. I gotta be one with the land. He learned their trade. He learned how to, sustain himself. He learned how to govern. He learned how to eat. He learned how to do linguistics. Like, he learned the world as opposed to the other heroes that just solely relied on their cheat skills, essentially. And when we pivot over to Ren, that is tenfold because we learned that this particular world that he's a part of was a VR MMO game that he used to play, where he would often get praised and he would often have like his getaway times in and stuff like that. And he was a top player in this game or whatever. So when it comes to that and you think about it, it's like, what a loser to come over to this world and not only just like fail, but fail horrifically and fail to the way of like, if you think about like, if you or I get isekai into, you know, our favorite game or a game that we're currently playing or that we've beaten multiple times, our knowledge of this game is exponential. Like we know the bosses where they are, we know the good stuff, we know this, we know that. So he knows all of this going in. The spirit tortoise wasn't foreign to him. He knows the strategic moves to do in the like. He knows all of these things, but he's still lost. And I find that to be unappealing, as opposed to, you know, you see these other isekai type stories of, you know, this dude gets isekai into this world, this girl gets isekai into this world. Like they truly use their knowledge to their benefit, but he's just kind of powered through everything with the knowledge that he had, but he epically failed. And it makes me kind of hate him even more, the fact that he knew all these things could occur. He knew he had all this knowledge that he could share, but he decided to be selfish about it, which is okay. You know, if you get, you know, you don't necessarily need to share, but he had the potential to share all this knowledge that he had of things to come. But he was selfish. He was like, I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm just going to take them on in stride. But then he failed spectacularly because he wasn't thinking of this as a real world. He was thinking it as a game. But then the stuff in the game he wasn't utilizing to his fullest, and he's so now a weak hero who's gonna have to go and get saved by Emil or whatever her name is now, and all the other stuff. So like this episode just kind of made me hate him even more. Now I will say, as a breath, I did like the episode because we got to learn more. And one of the things I always say when it comes to anime is like, hey, if it invoked some kind of feeling in you, it's doing its job. And for me, it's invoking that hatred that I really, or dislike that I had for Ren as it was already. But now he's going to come and he's going to join the group. He's going to get trained by Pink Hair Girl. He's going to be a better swordsman. You know, he's going to be part of the story more along with Motoyasu, which whatever's going on with him, you know, he's on another level right now, you know, with his philo brain going on there. But like, I just, you know, as they incorporate the other heroes, I just don't know how much I really like them at all. Like, I like the story being centered around now for me, you know what I mean? So regardless, though, you know, we learned more about Ren this episode. We saw his very, very lame attempt at using the greed series or wrath series of weapons, and he got owned. He got like embarrassed. But one of the important things that Naofumi pointed out was that part of the curse that comes up is part of the 7 deadly sins, being wrath, greed, you know, all those other ones, gluttony, things like that. So that's a very interesting thing. So it means that at least the 4 heroes are going to have a piece of gluttony or wrath, you know, or something like that. So it's like, okay, well, where are those other 3? Where are those other 3 deadly sins? Also, it seems that they beat the guys who kept coming to this world. Looks like they crushed their souls, I guess. I don't know. So maybe they can't come back no more. Question mark on that one. All right, but anyways, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments below. Do you hate Ren and 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐸 as much as I do? Because we know 𝐒𝐡𝐚𝐧𝐸's up next, unfortunately. So I guess we're going to have to spend the rest of the season going after the other heroes, and then we'll probably just end at that point. So I guess we'll see. But anyways, let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'll see you guys next week. Peace out, my friends.